I haven't done a story time video in quite a while, and I just recently thought of this idea to do a story time on all of the times that spiders and just bugs in general have almost gave me a heart attack. And there are quite a few. Most of them are spiders, but there are a few other different types of bugs in here, so I thought I would go ahead and make the video. Now, I am afraid of spiders and just bugs. Ever since I was a child, I have been terrified of them, so I thought that this would be a funny little story time for you guys. This time, I was taking a shower, and I was in the middle of washing my hair, and I was standing right underneath the shower head, and it was hitting the back of my head, and I was sitting there going like this with my eyes closed. I looked up. When I peeped my eye open, I seen this giant cockroach just crawl out of the crack in the wall, and when I screamed, it shot back up into the crack. And literally, for like 2 or 3 days, this cockroach was tormenting me. Every time I would take a shower, that motherfucker would come out of that hole. I would literally be stuck in like the corner of the shower, terrified the entire time I was in there, because I was afraid that this cockroach was going to get down on me, you know, that I was going to die. I believe like the last time that I seen that thing, I actually sprayed it with water and it ran back up into the crack. I think that it died because I did not see it anymore after that, and I don't really know for sure if this was a cockroach or if it was a water bug. Like, I'm not saying 100% because there are certain water bugs that look like cockroaches, but they're not. But regardless, a bug is a bug to me, and I don't like cockroaches. They are gross. So as soon as I seen that thing, like, I was done. You guys are probably thinking, well, why don't you just kill it? Because it goes into this like really small crack in my wall that we cannot get into. I'm not gonna touch that thing. What if it flies? What if it's got wings? What if it flew over my head? Like, I don't want to die, seriously. Every time I try to kill it, or every time I get my dad to try and come in there and kill it, it would go back into the crack. So we never got the actual chance to kill the thing until I spritzed it with water. At that time, I honestly seen my life flash before my eyes. And then one night, me and my dad went for a car ride, and we had just gotten back home. It was completely dark outside. I believe it was around like 9, 10 o'clock at night. And we're walking in. I believe it was a rainy night as well. So all of a sudden, this big, I don't know if it was a millipede or a centipede. I want to say it was a centipede. It had like a bunch of different creepy crawly legs, but it was crawling along the sidewalk, and I was like jumping around it trying to make sure that that thing did not get on me, or that, you know, I didn't step on it. I came back inside and didn't think anything of it. Did not see it again after that until my parents went to work this one night a couple of days later, and I'm just sitting in my room, and all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, I see something moving on the edge of my floor. I peep down, and that fucking millipede somehow got into my fucking room in our house. In my room. In my room. It could have been anywhere else in our house. No, it had to be in my room. It was crawling along the edge of the floor, and I was so scared. Like, I didn't even want to kill it because I did not want to hear like the crunchy sound that it made whenever you crushed its body. Like, makes my skin crawl. So I called my grandmother, who lives next door, and told her to come over here and help me out, and she killed it. And like the time that she was killing it, I was holding my ears like this because, like I said, I did not want to hear that crunching sound of that centipede, millipede, whatever it was called, being killed, because it just made my skin crawl completely. But yeah, I honestly don't know how it got into our house. We did not carry it in here, so it must have got in through like a crack or a hole or something in our wall, but regardless, it about gave me a heart attack. There was this one time my parents went to work. It's always when I'm home alone, and I went into the bathroom, and I believe that I was like cleaning my nose stub, because I do have my nose pierced, for those of you who did not know. I believe I was sitting there wiping off my nose stud. There was a ginormous tarantula looking spider on our ceiling right above my head, and I was home alone. I wasn't about to kill that thing, make it fall down on me, and then I would die. So I ran, I got out of there, I was screaming, And I think a couple of hours later I had to pee extremely bad. Extremely bad. And that spider was still on the loose in our bathroom. I did not kill it. So I walked into the bathroom. I believe I was wearing shoes and I was carrying something in case I seen it. And every time I ran in there, like, I would run back out. Like, I was tweeting about it the whole night. My friend was telling me, just go pee. And I was like, no, I'm literally about to go outside and pop a squat. Eventually, after a couple hours had passed by and I had to pee extremely bad, I was like, I have to face my fear. It can't be that bad. Like, it has to be gone at this point. So I walked into our bathroom. I peed. I didn't see it anywhere on the ceiling or on the walls. And I went to go wash my hands.
And I'm like, huh, this wasn't anything. Like, that thing was gone.
And I looked literally right in front of my face on the wall. That spider was right in front of me. Literally right in front of my face. Right in front of my eyes. You best believe my soul left my body at that point in time. And I believe that, like, my dad found it like a couple of nights later and killed it, but it was not a fun experience. Another time when a spider almost gave me a heart attack and killed me was a time that I walked into my room and I have this little alien from Toy Story lamp that I sometimes used to plug in and, you know, it'd be like a little light, whatever. So this was around the time that I was actually struggling with depression and I was just going through a really dark time. I have no idea what that means with the story, but this never happened up until this point. I walk into my room and I believe I was putting clothes away into my dresser and my alien lamp sits right on top. Once again, it was another situation where I had my eyes down and I was putting my clothes into the dresser, and I just kind of glanced up and there was this huge, I mean huge spider. It literally looked like a tarantula sitting on the top of my alien lamp. I screamed. I was,
Mom, come in here please, there's a spider on my alien lamp.
And they were laughing about it. Like, my dad finds my experiences with spiders kind of funny. I would too if I was in his position, but oh my god. Dad actually got rid of it. It was not a problem, but I don't know why it chose my alien lamp. I don't even know where it came from. I'm a pretty clean person. Like, I keep my room and myself very clean. And so are my parents. I don't really see how it got in here, but, you know, spiders like dark places and I like dark stuff, so. Then another time with a spider. Most of this, like I said, involves spiders. I was home alone. My parents and my sister were actually up at my grandmother's. I was walking through the hallway and I believe I had to use the bathroom. I had to pee. I'm walking through the hallway. All of a sudden I just kind of glance up and in the corner of the wall next to the door, there is this tarantula looking spider in the corner crack of the door. Immediately when I seen it, I screamed and I ran in the opposite direction. And I kept coming back through there like, I'm going to kill this spider so I can go pee. It's not going to be a problem. But every time I went to go do it, I chickened out and then I would run in the opposite direction again. So I ended up calling my grandmother's house to tell my dad that there was a spider down here and I couldn't pee. I couldn't even get out the door to get outside. Yeah, I did have other doors in my house that I could have went to. I don't know. I don't know why I thought maybe I would go out this door that had the spider right next to it. So I called my dad and he's like, I'm on my way, and it literally took him like an hour and a half to get back to our house to kill the spider. And by the time he got there, that spider was gone. It was nowhere to be found. And I believe like the next day it was in my sister's room, which is my room now, which is this room right here. I think my sister sprayed it with hairspray or something like that, and it just kind of shriveled up into a ball and it was on her floor dead. So I'm definitely glad that we killed that spider, but that was a scary experience. Then there was another experience with a spider, and this was a couple years ago when I went to my aunt's house when she was having like a little 4th of July get-together cookout type of thing for our family. We're outside. It was a nice summer day. It was really hot. When all of a sudden this giant spider just comes out of nowhere and she's got like this white thing that she's carrying on her back. This white thing just happened to be spider eggs. These were her children, her babies. Okay, I understand, like, this spider was probably just trying to get to its home and get its babies safely to its home so they wouldn't get killed. Okay, she was just trying to be a good parent. I understand that. But if I was my aunt, I would not want this massive mother spider and all her little teeny tiny crawly babies around my house. Okay, I just wouldn't. I'm not a spider bug person at all. My dad just stepped on it and like immediately these little spiders started crawling everywhere, and he stepped on them too, and I kind of felt bad about it. Like I was like, "Aw," like she was just trying to get her babies to a safe place, but I was kind of conflicted because at the same time I was terrified of it. I didn't want them getting on me. And then there was this one time I was sitting in the living room, and I believe that I was sitting on the couch and my mom was sitting there, and sometimes my mom will play pranks on me because she knows that I'm scared of bugs. Sometimes she'll get like these little fake plastic bugs and she'll try to play a prank on me and scare me with the bugs. I was sitting on the couch and I looked down and I noticed that there was a spider sitting on the floor. Well, my first reaction, because it was not moving, was my mom was trying to play a prank on me.
I was like, huh, nice going, Mom, but you didn't get me this time.
And I was keeping my eye on that spider, and all of a sudden, it just moved. Dude, I'm not kidding. It looks like the little black spiders that you would get from the dollar store, which kind of look like tarantulas, but they're just like big black, I don't know. They're just freaky looking. It literally looked like that, and it crawled underneath our couch. I believe it took us a few days, but my dad finally got it out. But God, what if I would have picked that up? Like, I literally would have shit myself and then died. Then there was one time I was in the shower, and all of a sudden this little centipede, I mean it was small compared to the other one, came crawling out of the side of the shower onto the wall. And as soon as I seen that thing, I screamed and I hopped out of the shower naked. Like, I didn't even care. I wasn't about to be in there with that crawling centipede crawling over the walls where it could have gotten on me. So I hollered for my mom. She came in there and she killed it. But yeah, definitely not a fun experience for me. And then there was one time when I was outside reading my book, and I used to sit on the little, what is it called, like a lattice thing that goes on the side of your porch. Sometimes I like to sit on that and read. So I was reading my book, and it was a nice spring day, and all of a sudden I just looked down and there's this little spider. It wasn't like too like really small, but it was like a quarter size spider, maybe a little bit bigger, on my arm. It was crawling up my arm, and I just like moved my hand like that, and it fell somewhere. I don't know where it went, but I ended up getting down, and I did not finish reading my book on the side of that lattice after that, just because I was afraid that I was going to get that spider on me. I don't like when you find them crawling on you. It's just... Also, that kind of reminds me, I think I heard something from someone where they said, like, you know that little tingling sensation you get in your arms and stuff sometimes when it feels like there's an itch but there's nothing there? And they said, what if it's like the spiders and the bugs that you've killed, like their spirits climbing on you? I don't know if that's true. I don't think that bugs have like ghosts or spirits, but I could be wrong. Hey, I don't know. But that's just like a freaky thing to think because you can't get them off of you. Now, these next two experiences happened recently. It was really recent. I believe it happened just this year. I went outside and I think I was doing something with my tent, and I had the porch light on. All of a sudden, this giant, what I thought at first was a bird, came flying out there, and it was like flapping its wings everywhere, and it was like going all over the place, crazy on our porch around me. And I was like screaming. My dad had the door locked. Like, I went over and I was pounding on the door. I was like, let me in, hurry up, this thing's gonna kill me. And I'm not kidding you guys, it was not a bird, it was a giant moth. Now, I know you guys are gonna laugh at that one, a moth, but it was the size of a flippin' bird. Like, if I can find a picture of the actual moth or one that looks like it, I will put it somewhere in this video. But it was as big as a freaking medium-sized bird. Like, it was traumatizing. Oh my god. And then this one happened recently too. In the living room, I think I was working on my one page at a time, and I was sitting on the couch, and I just happened to put my one page at a time on the end table. And I'm not thinking anything of it. And I believe I had been outside like a couple minutes before that doing something, and I had my book out there with me. So that could have been how this happened. But I looked, and all of a sudden I just seen like this little like quarter-sized spider crawling on my book, and it went inside the pages, and I could not find it after that. So that was pretty creepy, and I don't think we ever caught that one. Like, that one was still on the loose, and I believe it might be, like, somewhere in my couch now. But, I mean, we could have killed it. I don't know. Just the fact that we don't know exactly what happened to it or where it went is scary. Like, I'm not kidding you guys. Like, if I find a bug in my room and it's on the loose and I do not catch it, like, I will not stay in there until I catch that bug, because I do not want that thing on me. Then there was this one time I was sitting on the computer. I believe I was editing a video at this point in time, and I was on my bed in my room. And I think that my parents had just gotten home from work. And trust me when I say we're pretty clean people, but sometimes no matter how clean you are, like, there's still these little bugs that kind of find their way into your home. But I was sitting on my bed, and all of a sudden I just see something black dart underneath the computer next to my leg. I picked up the computer, and it was a fucking cockroach on my bed. So I was screaming. I jumped off my bed, and my dad came in here and he found it, and thankfully he killed it, because I would not have slept on my bed that night had he not. And I ended up washing my sheets. I was petrified that entire night. Yeah, those were all of my experiences where bugs nearly killed me. I hope you guys got a good laugh out of this and that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a big ol' thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you have not already and become a morbid maniac. And feel free to leave me a comment if you have ever had an experience where a bug nearly killed you. And I will see you guys in my next video.